Hey y'all, I'm back. I've been gone a while. I've been busy. You know, some of us work full time, and some of us work more than full time. And I do a little bit of both. And finally, in the last few weeks, it has kind of settled down. So I'm finally back to a point where I can actually spend a little more time with you guys again. So, getting back into the swing of things, and it's what is mid-February, and I have I have to I have to sit down and I have to really take a little bit of inventory and figure out what kind of seeds do I have, what kind of seeds do I need, what am I going to grow, what am I not going to grow, what do I really have to grow, what are the absolute must-haves, um, what are the fun things, what are the things that I want to experiment with, what do I want to do this year with my garden that's different than I did last year? What did I learn from my garden last year? Um, Boy, did I learn a lot last year. Because last year's garden, to be blunt, sucked. It was horrible. And I say that in a way that I did get a really good harvest out of some things. Um, it was a weird year last year, and like my tomatoes, the weird thing about those, like they didn't even start turning red until almost November, like mid to late October in Arkansas. Like what the heck? I fought blight. I oh, that was horrible. I planted 3 rows of okra. I got 6 plants of okra and of 2 different kinds. I planted 3 rows of 3 different kinds. The I can honestly say the one thing that grew and did remarkably well were my Tabasco peppers. And so I don't think I need to grow those this year. I had plenty. But, I kind of I struggle trying to figure out what am I going to grow, what am I going to do, what am I going to not. So I've thought this year, it might be a good idea to really sit down and kind of take inventory of what seeds I do have, because I'm pretty well stocked on some seeds. So there's a few things I know that I absolutely am going to have to order again. Some carrots, a couple things like that. But for the most part, the basics are covered. Um, what I need to figure out, and one of the things that I have struggled with, and I grew up gardening. My grandparents gardened, my mom, my dad gardened. Everybody around me I knew gardened. It wasn't my thing until I got a little older. And doing what I do, it's a way for me to kind of decompress. So I really have started throwing myself more into it. But the things that I struggle with are knowing what to plant when and trying to figure out what the best, I guess, time frame for each. As far as, do I start them and start the seeds indoors before? Do I plant them in the ground? Um, there's so many different things, and so I decided this year, got my handy dandy little garden planner guide. Y'all, this is the coolest thing ever. You got to get you one of these. Um, I don't even remember where I got it, but it is so cool because it's the first thing I did was I got myself a calendar. I got myself a notepad. And I started that, you know what, if I can make a plan. And so the first thing I needed to know was my first and last frost date. And where I am at, I'm not worried about the zones. I grew up gardening, like I said. Nobody ever talked about zones when I was growing up. It was, you plant this by the, my grandparents planted by the almanac, by the moon. But when you go to plant seeds and you know that you've got a certain time frame, where I'm at, my last frost date, estimated last frost date for the 2024 year growing season is about April 23rd. And my first frost date this year is about October 16th. So what that tells me is I have about 175 days of growing time, which is a really good time frame. My struggle is knowing, okay, well, if I'm going to start seeds indoors, what do I start when? Because I don't want to start like everything all at once. Oh my God, then I would be so overwhelmed with seeds and plants. And, you know, you got little seedlings in these trays, and then you've got the up potted ones to here, and then you got to do these up here. And every single week you're doing something different. Oh, it's okay. Well, sorry about that. So every single year you're doing, or week, every single week you're doing something just a little bit different. And it's like, wouldn't it be easier if instead of trying to do everything all at once, if I could plan my week, let's say the things that you start 10 to 12 weeks ahead of time, 8 to 10 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and so and so. And so that's what I'm doing right now is I'm getting my plants or my seeds out. I still have a little bit of time. There will be some things that I will be starting this coming weekend. This is a Monday, and this coming weekend I will probably get my asparagus seeds and probably some pepper seeds and some celery seeds started. I think it's too late for onions, so I don't think I'm going to do onion by seed this year. I think I'm going to have to do those by sets. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going down through the calendar and I'm going through my list of seeds and my my stashes of seeds and stashes and stashes and stashes of seeds, and trying to figure out, okay, what are the super early things? What do I have to start now? Sorry. Like I said, I don't know if you can see on that clock up there. It's 9:22. I can't see backwards up there. It is 9:22 p.m. Okay. I've worked all day long today. Came home, had to work again. I got chickens. I got guineas. I got ducks. I got baby ducks. I got baby chickens. I have new cats. I have things to do. And then I want to sit down and try to figure out. So I'm just sitting down for just a few minutes each night this week. Oh, gracious. So, oh my God. So I'm sitting down for just a few minutes each week or each night just to kind of get things situated and such. Oh my goodness, I can't stop yawning. Okay. So one of the things that I like about trying to figure out what I've got, this little guy, the Clyde's planner, has such a cheat sheet. So what's really cool about this, if you look, I know now what my last estimated frost date is, and it's April 23rd. So this red line is on kind of between, I think it's the 19th and the 26th. So I kind of put it right in there between. And this little thing tells me what I can plant, when I can plant it, when to start the seeds indoors. And so it's kind of given me a little bit of a jump start. It's the best little tool ever. So I'm taking that as a jump start and trying to figure out, okay, these are the seeds I want to get started this week. These are the things I want to get going next week. And we'll go from there. And if I can do things in a succession, then I really think that maybe I'll have a little bit better success this year. I want to do more succession planning, but see, also if I do it that way, then I'm breaking things down and I'm not overwhelming myself. I still work full time. And so, and you've got family and other things to do too on top of that. But I still work full time, so I have to work around that schedule. I'm on a budget. A lot of the things that I'm wanting to do around here, the flower beds, the gardening, then when you're done with the garden, then you got to can everything or freeze everything or preserve everything, dehydrate and what have you. And then I have other commitments to other things that I have to be involved in too. I mean, we have meat birds that we take care of, not myself, but my mom and my brother, and I help my mom with that. And there's so many things involved. So I figured tonight I would start out with the video going, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get things in an organized manner. Last year was terrible. It was hot. It was wet and rainy part of it, and it was dry as a bone part of it. My garden is in a weird spot. I did not get any of the perennials planted that I wanted to last year. This year, that is a big, big goal. Perennials are absolutes this year. My rhubarb, things like that. I definitely want to get herbs started. I need to get, I want flowers everywhere. Still working on that. It's a process. I have a huge in-ground garden. I do till because that's what I have. What do you do? If you don't, if you don't want to do no-till, fine. Yay, wonderful, great. I want to do some raised beds. I can't afford them. I was very fortunate I have a friend who has cattle, and she's giving me some mineral tubs. And so I am going to use those this year for a lot of my raised bed gardening. But I have some big plans for so many other raised beds. I can only do one little thing at a time. And so I'm really trying to focus or force myself to focus more closely on taking it one step at a time, keeping myself grounded, not overwhelming myself. And then if I can establish one simple, single raised bed, then I'll know that I can handle the next one. And then that one's there. And then you just slowly build your way up. I can't afford to just go out and buy 25 raised beds the way I want it. I can't afford to run irrigation. I have to be very creative in the way I do it. And I know that a lot of you guys do too. So let's do this one step at a time, one day at a time. And the first step is figuring out my plan. So I'm going to work on that this week. This weekend, we'll do another video and show you where I'm at. We'll show you the first steps. What am I planning each weekend? And how is that going? And we'll just go from there. So it's good to be back. I missed y'all, believe it or not. I think about you all the time because I've been busy working 60-hour weeks where it's just been exhausting. And so finally down to a point where I'm back down to about a 40-ish hour week. And I'm still tired. So bear with me. I'm going to do my absolute dead level best to do a once a week video. And we'll go from there. Hang out with me. Welcome. If you've missed me, yay, I missed y'all. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back. And, one step at a time. So stay rooted, y'all. Until the next time.